Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Timothy, and on this channel we speak everything personal finance. And when I say everything personal finance, I mean everything personal finance. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 7 money habits that's keeping you poor. Like anything else, to get out of these habits, you're going to have to change your lifestyle. You're going to have to practice. You're going to have to work to get better and get out of these habits that are making you poor. And I'm going to give you some examples of what you're missing by practicing these bad money habits. And by breaking these habits, you will be on the way to transforming your financial future. And that's the ultimate purpose of this channel. And the first money habit that's keeping you poor is you're not paying yourself first. Your bills are getting paid first. Your mortgage is getting paid first. You're paying all these other people first. Your credit cards are getting paid first. Everyone's getting paid first, but not you. You're getting paid last. You're getting what's left. You're getting the scraps. What we want to do is pay ourselves first. And what do I mean by paying yourself first? I'm talking saving 20% of your income. I've done videos on how much of your paycheck you should be saving. And we came to the conclusion that based on the 50-30-20 rule, you need to be saving at least 20% of your paycheck. And this money needs to go to you before it goes anywhere else. And for the best way for it to get to you first is by automating your savings, allotting money straight from your paycheck to your savings account outside of your main bank, outside of your checking, preferably in a high yield savings account. And if you can't get in a high yield savings account for whatever reason, just get it into a savings account and tuck it away. Grow your funds to something we're going to talk about later, which is an emergency fund. 20% a paycheck, 20% a month, however you want to do it. Put your money aside. And why are we putting aside 20% for savings? It's because we want to build a good financial base. And we want to take advantage of compound interest by investing a percentage of this money as well. The more money that we can get into these, say your Roth account or your 401k or even your high yield savings account, the more this money can grow, the better. By paying yourself first, you're setting yourself up for long-term success. So pay yourself first, stop paying yourself last. Just be sure to automatically save your money and send it to a savings account, a high yield savings account preferably. And another money habit that's keeping you poor is living beyond your means. Rent is expensive, mortgage is expensive, cars, food, going out for fun, everything's expensive. We still need to live within our means. You might have been able to afford something years ago, but you may not be able to afford it now, and we have to be okay with that. And if you want to afford it, then you have to make more money. We're not going to supplement our income by going into credit card debt so we can live beyond our means and travel more than we really should be traveling. One of the main things I'm talking about is avoiding overinflated car payments and overinflated housing. A lot of times these overinflated payments can eat up 50% of your income, and we don't want that. For instance, the average monthly car payment is $563 in the US. Now imagine if you didn't get a car payment, but you actually invested this money into the market at a 10% or 12% return. If you invested that car payment that you would be paying and put it into the market and it grew at 10% for 20 years, you have $428,000. And for the same numbers at 12% for 20 years, you have $532,000. It's insane thinking about this because people have car payments their whole life. Coming out of college, you go get your dream car. What do you need a dream car for at 25 years old? Go get your little beat down $10,000 car, your Toyota Camry, even a $15,000 car, paid in cash, and invest the money that would have gone to a car payment into the market. You could have numbers just like this or even better by investing more money. Living within your means avoids the trap of you getting into high interest credit card debt, and it helps you maintain financial stability. And the third money habit that's keeping you poor is lack of financial planning and lack of financial education. There are so many ways that you can educate yourself on finances, like watching this channel here. And there's many others like Graham Stephan, The Financial Diet, and one of my favorite, The Money Guys. Please look them up. They give you so much good information. And I just found a great podcast on Spotify called The Rich Habits Podcast. You guys should definitely check them out. They are so good. And they have many episodes that are not for only more experienced investors, but also beginner investors and where you should put your money. If you want to build wealth, you need to grow your financial knowledge of personal finance and investing. A lot of this information is not taught in schools, and you have to learn this on your free time. And a great way to get into financial planning is by budgeting. Budgeting is a great way to know where all your money is going. And there's many apps that you can use, like Every Dollar, which was created by Dave Ramsey. YNAB is another one. And you could just use Excel and track your spending that way. Planning your financial future is key when making these important financial decisions. So go out there, get some financial education, watch some more videos on my channel, and there's many other creators, like I said, that are out there creating videos for you for the beginner that's getting into finances, for the people that are struggling with finances. Now, just watching these videos aren't going to fix your finances. You have to then implement these ideas, these lessons into your own personal life. But if you're watching this video, you're getting a great head start on your personal finance journey. And not having an emergency fund, also not having the proper insurance, is another habit that is keeping you poor. An emergency fund protects you from disasters. It protects you from going into credit card debt when you have hospital bills. It protects you from going into credit card debt when your car breaks down. When you blow a flat tire, you don't have to go into credit card debt to pay off these large expenses that just happen out of nowhere. So what we want to do is we want to have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. 12 months is even better. If you have a 3 month emergency fund, you might have a more stable job where you have 2 people working in a household that brings in a lot of high income. If you have a 6 month emergency fund, you might have one parent working while the other is at home. So you want to have more space and buffer in case things go crazy or you lose your job. Something crazy happens in your life that you have to fund, and you have this money right here in your emergency fund so you can pay for it all. And if you don't know how to calculate your emergency fund, I have videos where I've talked about how to calculate your emergency fund, but I can also tell you right now how you're going to calculate your emergency fund. So what you want to really do here is add up your expenses, like rent or mortgage. You want to add up all the main expenses that you spend or would spend in a month, and then you're going to multiply that by 3, which is a 3 month emergency fund, or 6, which would be your 6 month emergency fund. And like I said, an emergency fund provides a peace of mind and financial stability when things go bad and unexpected events occur. For the 5th point, it is ignoring big expenses like car payments and housing payments. These large expenses can consume a huge portion of your income. They might consume 50 to 60% of your income. This makes it very difficult to save and invest your money. And if you're wondering why you can't invest or why you're not able to save a lot of money, you might want to look at the $700 car payment you have in the driveway. You might want to look at the $2,000 to $2,500 house you're living in, and then ask yourself, what if I cut that down by $1,000? Say I cut my housing by $1,000, or I cut my car payment by $200, or I just get rid of the car and get a used car. Look at that and imagine what your life would be like if you had an extra $1,500 in your account that you could invest, or you could throw to groceries, or you can spend on your kids. Imagine if you had an extra $1,500 and what that would do for you. Instead of stretching your budget thin, look for more affordable ways that align with your financial goal. An example would be, we want to travel. We're not going to go get a house that takes up 35 or 40% of our income, because what's important to us is traveling. So we're going to go for a house that takes up 15 to 20% of our income, and then you could throw the extra income that you would have thrown to that more expensive house that took up 40% of your income. You could throw that to vacations, because that's what's important to you. So it's all about finding what's important to you and spending money in that area. So if housing is important to you, then go spend money on housing, and if vacation is not important to you, then don't spend money on vacations. But if you don't really care what kind of house you're in, get a cheaper house and put that money towards something important, like investing, like saving, whatever is important to you. This is personal finance, and it's all very personal. And 6, this is something that I fell for. So falling for scams and get rich quick schemes. And I fell for this, but I didn't fall for it, but I paid for a course on tech, doing tech, because the whole big tech craze. And I put $4,000 into this tech course, and I finished it. And a lot of these courses, you have to have it within you to actually take the information and apply it to your life, and you have to be a go-getter and go get these jobs and apply for all these jobs and do these interviews and actually not just complete the course, but immerse yourself within the course. And that's just something that I wasn't doing. I spent $4,000. I didn't get a job from it, and I paid for it in cash, $4,000. Imagine if I invested, that $4,000 into the market, and it grew at a 10 or 12% return over time, and what that money would be. For example, let's say you invested $5,000 into a course, but if you didn't invest that $5,000 into a course and you just put it into the S&P 500, which has had a return of about 10% historically. Initially, you just invested that $5,000 for over 20 years and didn't add nothing else to it. It can grow over $32,000, and that's just by putting this $5,000 in there and not investing anything else into that account and just letting it grow, forgetting about it. It will grow to $32,000. But imagine if you actually started putting money into that every month. Say you put $500 or $1,000. Just imagine what that money will grow to. Double. It would triple. It would quadruple if you just kept investing to this account. So don't fall for these get rich quick schemes. I know it's very difficult because our feeds are full of it. But remember, true wealth is built over time. It's built by slow investing into the markets. It's built by slowly investing into real estate. And just by being consistent through investing, your wealth will grow over time. And the last money habits keeping you poor is not maximizing income and employer benefits. If you're not taking your employer 401k match, you're losing money. That's free money. If they say put 5% in, they'll match 5%. Just put 5% free, 100% return on your money. If they have good insurance plans, take advantage of it because they may pay a portion of your insurance plans instead of going somewhere outside of your employer. But also, if you have time after work, work on growing your skills, work on side hustles that build money. But don't go into side hustles that take too much money from you. You want these side hustles to be profiting and not just taking money from you. So spend a year or two on a side hustle, see how it goes. And then if it goes well, continue to grow that side hustle. And if not, don't just keep pushing money into this side hustle if you're not getting a return on your money. Grow your skills. This is what I do. I come home, I go to work, I have a 9 to 5, I make really good money. Then I come home and I work on a passion project like YouTube, something that I've always been into. And I'm glad that I finally found the niche that I like. Personal finance is something that I've always listened to all the time. And now I'm here explaining, talking to you guys on how to get better with your finances. And I enjoy it so much. And hopefully one day this becomes a full-time career for me because I really enjoy talking about money. So there you have it, 7 money habits that are keeping you from your financial success. By paying yourself first, living within your means, having an emergency fund, and avoiding expensive things and avoiding excessive expenses, as well as being cautious on scams and maximizing your income, you can take control of your finances and achieve your long-term goals. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips. Also share it to anyone that might benefit as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one.